Okay, guys, good morning. Top of the morning to you. Sorry for a little late start. Camera computer issue, so I'm going old school and just holding up the phone holding up my cell phone so I can deliver this training this morning, and we can get it done. But I wanted to finish off our conversation from yesterday. We were talking about social media, and it got cut off. And one of the main messages behind the training with social media, and you can listen to 10 different Gary Vee videos. The guy's just a master at social media, would you agree? But, it goes back to really what he talks about is exactly what Darren Hardy talks about in the book, The Compound Effect. And the compound effect is all about consistency over time. This entire book is about looking at what you want to have accomplished or what you want to do, and not looking at, you have to tackle this elephant all in one bite. It's about making small changes every single day, and that those small changes will add and create this snowball effect, where it just continues. The snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what I wanted to kind of talk about today. So social media, to close the book on that, it's get in front. You have an amazing ability for free to get in front of a targeted audience and talk to them every single day. Every single one of those people in your social media followers is going to be aware of 3 real estate transactions every single year. And remember, that's a National Association of Realtors statistics. So if everyone every social media follower, every friend you have, everybody you run into that knows your name is going to be aware of 3 people that are aware of a real estate transaction where somebody says they want to buy or sell a house. Isn't that an amazing number? And I go back to, again, maybe you've heard this story about my first real estate agent that in 1997, I bought my first home. I've never heard from this woman ever again, okay? Now, if I was aware of 3 deals a year, which I was, which, by the way, 3.5 years after owning that first house, we moved into a substantially bigger house. And I obviously didn't call her back because she wasn't the most convenient person in my life, right? She disappeared. So the most convenient realtor is the one I worked with. It's that simple. And so when you look at that number, if you just got one, if she just got one a year for the last 22 years, we'll call it 98, for the last 22 years, if she had been there in my life and maintained that relationship and looked at me as a client for life, I bought 3 homes here in my hometown, okay? And she would have gotten all 3 of those, obviously, but just one referral per year with an average commission of, say, $5,000. That is a substantial amount of money, right? Like $400,000, right? So when you look at her doing that to 100 people, do the math, right? She's multi-6-figure income every single year without spending any money on mailers, flyers, personal promotion, or any marketing. Just simply doing her job and looking at creating this goose that lays the golden egg, business philosophy. And I talk to agents every single day. I was on the phone yesterday with a bunch of them. And they all come back and say the same thing, and I'll use the story of Lisa Taylor, who I've been working with for 12 years now. Gosh, it's been 12 years. So she came and sponsored a program where I was out there in Denver, Colorado, and she came and saw me speak, and just absolutely love this woman. Well, she's going to do $40 million in personal production this year, right? And Lisa was on yesterday into another group that I work with. I know Nicole's part of that group, who's watching right now, and flat out said, I'm not doing a good enough job with the people that I do know, the people that are in my database. There's tons of money there, right? So with marketing, you got to pay to play in today's day and age. It's that simple. But you still have social media followers. And when you leverage those followers by engaging those people on a regular and consistent basis, you'll build momentum. You can't not. You've all been to seminars where people said 90% of my business comes from social media, right? It's not rocket science. Everybody thinks that, oh, well, you said the magic words, the magic words. No, it was more about the consistency over time. But the interesting thing about doing things consistently, when you do them consistently, you get better at them. When you get better at them, that's when the leads start happening, right? So if you're not very good at getting in front of a camera and talking to people right now, start out and do it anyway, because you're going to get better. You're going to continue to work your skills and get better. So that's where I wanted to close the gap. I wanted to start today by telling you a story. What's up, Misty Moffitt? How you doing, Misty? Where are you from? Camellia, always on. Nicole, always on. Ron Houlihan, what's up, buddy? You're always on, too. I want to say hi to you guys. Thank you very much for joining today. I'm waving at you. And to tell you a story about an agent that I've been working with, and this woman said, you know, Pat, I'm just frustrated and overwhelmed. That's the feeling I have. Well, I said, all right, let's talk about that. Why are you frustrated and overwhelmed? Well, because, you know, technology's really changed the game. When I first got into real estate, it was just much easier and much simpler. Now I'm seeing, you know, people are doing this, that, and the other thing. I just feel that it's above my head, you know. And I said, well, let's go down the scorecard. Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 means you're talking to at least 3 past clients every single day, and you're adding value into their lives in some way, shape, or form. Where would you rank yourself? And she said a 2. I said, okay. Are you going after expireds or FSBOs? No. Okay. You doing open houses? No. Okay. Talk to me about your commitment to networking and farming. Are you doing any of that? No. Okay. What about marketing? Well, I do Facebook every once in a while. You know, I run a Facebook ad, you know, and I said, okay, so anything else regarding marketing? No. You know, so you guys get where I'm going with this. This woman was literally telling me that she was a 2 or worse in virtually every way, shape, or form. You get business as a real estate agent or a mortgage professional, even if you're on this call and you're in the mortgage industry. So I said, what it did is it caused her to stop and instead of looking at and blaming technology and blaming confusion, is she really never took the time to study and master a CRM or really go through her data and manage it and say, here's how my plan of attack, here's how I'm going to hit it, right? Never really did that. So her success was kind of like her activities, right? Fly by night. You know, when she would put her head down and pick up the phone, she got deals. But then what would happen? She would get busy and inundated with the deals that she was working on and forget to prospect. I would say forget to prospect. The reality is she just stopped prospecting because it was easy not to. She had money in the pipeline, and she, what I call advanced call reluctance, is saying that, you know what, I'm busy. I've got 3 deals. I got 3 people I'm taking care of right now. And I hear that all the time. Oh my God, I'm so busy, Pat. You know, January would be a good time to start this. And, you know, December would be a good time to start that. And Monday would be a good time to start that. And that's the whole message I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is the power of now, right? The power of now. You're on this call because you're dealing with something. You want to get better at something. Obviously, you want to learn. But I want to take us back to asking one simple question. And I want to see your answers. I'm not going to read them aloud. But on a scale from 1 to 10, guys, how well are you executing the fundamental things of real estate? Adding value to your past clients, picking up the phone, prospecting, getting out in front of people and telling them about your real estate business, posting something every day on Instagram and Facebook about your business. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm just curious, where would you rank yourself on your commitment to daily, a little bit of activity every single day in those areas? I want to see your answers. And that's where we have to start. But building momentum, when we have adversity, we have lives, we have kids, we have sports games, we have all kinds of things that we've got going on. And when you're behind the 8 ball and you lost momentum in your real estate business, I'm going to tell you that gaining momentum, those first few weeks are extremely tough. I'm not going to pull any punches. It's tough. But it's not nearly as tough as is continuing with the same behaviors and actions that you're currently doing, because the aftermath of that is much more difficult to live with. Being financially strapped and losing momentum and stressing and anxiety and wondering, where your next deal is going to come from, right? We all know this is a contact sport. There's no digging for gold, right? Where you just, that you said a magic word, you put a magic post on, and poof, it just exploded with oil, right? And you just found that one well that was producing continuous amounts of money, and it's a secret, and my gosh, what an unbelievable thing. There's no more home runs, and there's just base hits, right? There's doubles and triples, but in terms of a marketing approach, there's no one marketing approach that is a complete grand slam home run for you. It's about doing this wheel, right? Past clients, people and starting to expand upon that until you get to marketing. And some of you heard Lisa yesterday. Lisa spends $10,000 a month with Zillow. She despises that she does that. Does she turn around deals, and is it somewhat profitable for her? Yes. Okay. Would I suggest to most people that don't have momentum, that just start dominating a certain zip code and being up there number one and paying $1,000, or she said she gets about 10 leads, right? It's very, very expensive, right? So there's agents out there that don't spend any money in marketing and run incredible businesses. But what is your answer? What is the best solution? Well, marketing ultimately should be developing consistent marketing approach through Facebook, through social media, right? Perhaps through some of the lead aggregators, sprinkling some of that in. That's our ultimate goal. So we're always, we have high profit leads and deals that come in through referrals. And then we have our marketing that is lower profit items, right? Now you have to make that decision. Do you want to be a team leader? Do you want to just recruit people, recruit agents, and leverage? Because that's the last rung. But let me go back to really where most people struggle in real estate is this thing right here, right? So how do we build momentum? You start building momentum by exercising. Okay, believe it or not, it's the very first thing somebody that's in a rut needs to do. Okay, and then you have to focus on one thing, one activity: prospecting, and you have to barricade from 9 to noon every day. And you have to go into your database. I don't care if your database is on a napkin. I don't care if it's in Act or Goldmine or Salesforce or with our system or wherever that database is. You got to go in that database and not prejudge the database and say, I don't know, why would I call them? That'd be a waste of time. Why would I get on the phone for 3 hours and just talk to these people? What am I going to say to these people, right? I've already given you the words. If you haven't talked to people in a long time, ring, hello. Hey, John, Pat Fenton giving you a call. Does the name ring a bell? No, I got to be honest with you. You lost me on this one. Well, I was your real estate agent on 125 Smith Road a couple years back. Now, does that name ring a bell? Oh, gosh, man, Pat, I'm so sorry. No worries, man. It's actually my fault. That's why I'm giving you a call. And if you got a quick minute, I put together a program I'm really excited about, and I wanted to share it with you. You got a quick minute? Yeah, sure, Pat. What's up, man? So anyway, John, over the last handful of years, 10 years, 20 years, however long you've been in real estate, if it's 2 years, just say over the last several years, right, or the last few years, whatever. Position it in a way that makes it sound, grandiose, without lying. And I've been in, over the last several years in real estate. So many times people have come to me and asked me the question, do you know a good plumber, electrician, handyman, etc., so on and so forth? And I've had to dig, scratch, and claw and find people. But I've also developed a lot of relationships being in the industry with a lot of these home service providers. So what I just decided to do is formalize that list, but just simply ask the list of vendors, my preferred vendors, to offer special discounts because their cost of getting a referral from me is zero. And I want to promote them to an entire database. Would they be interested in putting together some kind of special deal or discount? John, ultimately what I'm saying is my goal is to help my past clients, people I know, save 20 to 30% or more annually on what they spend in and around their house to maintain, protect, and enhance it. The call's no big deal. I just wanted to call and say hi and reintroduce myself to you and tell you such a program exists. If you need anything, let me know. Is that okay with you? There's no cost to you, John. Yeah, sounds good to me, Pat. What a good idea. Yeah, we'll let you know, man. Right? So, he may hang up that phone and say, my gosh, that was weird. Right? And that's okay, because what do? We planted the seed. We're trying to grow. If you think about names that are in your database, and you think about the garden, your business is the garden, then we want to plant the seed of value that we're going to be doing something and offering something that costs you zero in terms of prospecting. And it makes sense because we're in real estate. We're dealing with home. By the way, Amazon and Google want to get into the home services business, guys. It's not a small deal. And organizations that effectively are able to do this and help people, it is a means to stay in contact and add value in their lives so that you become their client for life through value. And then through value creates reciprocity. Creating reciprocity converts them from a past client, friend, or family member into an advocate for your business. That's what we want to do. We want to create as many advocates. What are the difference between someone you know and just likes you and someone that advocates for you is that someone that advocates for you feels compelled based on the value you've given them to want to promote your business and say that you're the best. They'd be a fool not to work with you or at least give you a shot because you're so good. You stay in contact. And the good news for you guys is not a lot of real estate agents are doing this. And I'll reference my good friend Ryan Chido, who's in Naples, Florida, and Ryan will clear $50 million in individual personal production. This year, he's ranked number 10 globally with Engel and Volker Realty, and I met him 12 years ago at the Hyatt Coconut Point in Bonita Springs. And when he was in his, early 30s, okay? And even Ryan would say, yeah, Pat, how I get there, right? Ryan spends about $4,000 a month total on marketing, okay? Now, some of the things that I work with Ryan is helping him get off the hamster wheel. Because I said, you got an amazing house, you got an amazing lifestyle, you got a beautiful wife, you got great things going for you, you're crushing it. But now it's time to figure out the leverage and the exit strategy piece, right? Let's put that in motion so you're not having to go crazy all day long, all year long, right? Isn't that the goal? The best plumbers are not turning the wrench. I said, you're turning the wrench. The best painters aren't up there on the ladder going like this. They got a crew. They're marketing people. They become marketing people. They get the deals. They have their crew do the work. So I'd like to see you get off the ladder, okay, and stop painting. I'd like to see you take that wrench, okay, and put it in the hands of somebody that you want to develop and grow. And get them going and teach them this business, right? So without going long-winded on that, but the biggest thing with Ryan is that he was calling. He just bangs the phones. He goes, Pat, I bang the phones all day long. When I'm in my car, I'm always talking to people. I'm always talking to people. And to be candid with you guys, it's not always strategic with Ryan, And that's the Achilles heel. And those are some of the things I'm working on with him. But I mean, gosh, the guy's still doing $50 million in individual production and recognizes the level of gaps he still has to close and get better, right? So, good morning, Camellia. Thank you for saying that. And here we are. I reference Lisa Taylor, who's doing $40 million and recognizes that I need to do a better job at this. I reference Ryan. I said, man, I'm really, really struggling with coming at them with a strategy so I can maximize the number of referrals, right? And I need to start doing some more marketing and spending some of that money to produce more so that I can replace myself with other people and become the plumber that runs a business and is not a plumber anymore, so to speak. I hope that makes sense, everybody. So, I think it does, but it's the people that are doing poorly in real estate that are looking for the magic pill, right? And granted, attending meetings and training is a wonderful thing, but those people will go to 10 meetings a day if it means not having a prospect, right? It's advanced call reluctance is what it is, okay? And they'll spend all kinds of time, ready, aim, as I talked about last week. When you just, the growth is in the fire, right? It's taking action. So the prescription that I have for you guys to add, 100K to your pipeline in the next 90 days, right? Which we're, gosh, I don't know, day 20, 25, what are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? Not tomorrow, not Friday, today. To, with joy in your heart, hit that database, right? And hit it as many phone calls as you can and ask people for help. I've given you guys a script where you're calling on people that you know and asking them for help. Good people. When you talk to people that you're good friends with that are tight with you, and you haven't gotten a referral from them, they still may love you, but it's our job to convert them into referral machines for us by asking them for help. How's everything going? Good. You shoot the breeze for a couple minutes. You talk about the things you guys have in common. For me, I talk golf and football with a lot of my friends, And listen, man, I need your help. Yeah, I've got a goal. I'm about 20 grand short of it between now and the end of the year. I am trying to push like heck to get this thing done. And I'm really after it. So I'm just calling out all my friends and family. If you happen to run into somebody that that mentions they want to buy, sell, can you do me a favor and give me a call, mention my name to them? I greatly appreciate that, man. I'm about 8 deals short right now, or 4 deals short. So that when you talk to friends, you tell them you have a goal and you really want to hit that goal, and you tell them how short you are. And I really want to do this. So if you happen to know somebody, man, can you let me know? Great. So what do you do when you hang up? Well, I always taught this. I'm like, go if they sound like, yeah, man, absolutely, like they're committed to that. I have a letter in my CRM. It's already predetermined because it's a campaign, right? And it's a file. Hey, thank you very much for our time on the phone today. I know we're friends. Again, you have a letter for close friends. You have a letter for kind of past clients and databases. You speak differently, right? So I'm not a big fan of just one script applies for all, right? So it is. Thank you very much for spending time, and I really appreciate you looking out for my business. Please have a cup of coffee on me, right? I take a $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, put it in there with 3 business cards. I've attached, and I handwrite a thank you, just one sentence. Sorry. So there's a short paragraph already typed out, but then I just handwrite one thing. It's just the best practice. Thank you very much, your friend Pat, right? And I send it out in the mail, okay? And then in my CRM I'm going to follow up with them once a month regarding that. I'm getting close, man. I got one deal from Johnny. Now, if somebody else in their network actually refers them, Joe Sure sent me a lead. And, man, I've got 6 more. So if you happen to know anybody, let me know, man. And no big deal, right? And you're not talking to them every week about it, right? And then when you see him in social settings, you got to know, hey, man, I've already talked to him about it. He knows I'm not going to talk business. We're out on a Friday afternoon. They know. You put that seed in. They got your Dunkin' Donuts card, right? That's it. So you kind of have to know, not to push, to remind, to ask for help, but not to be, to overdo it, which I think we all have an instinct, right? But some of those instincts that are leading you to not ask people for help. There's a lot of real estate transactions going on right now, guys. So we have to ask people for help. So what I just covered with you as I was talking is actually a workflow. And if you know that there's communication schematic that goes on, the way I teach this, by the way, is initial phone call, do the home savings program. Close friends, just ask them for help. We can also do the home savings program with them, right? Follow up with a letter and a $5 Dunkin' Donuts coupon, which $5 is a lot less than a $1,000 lead from Zillow. And send them a thank you, right? And then have a pre-designed workflow in the CRM that has you calling them once a month or once every 45 days. At the biggest gap, every 60 days. Now, they're also on your monthly video, email, newsletter, and part of your social media. So they're also going to see, they may not always click on your videos or your posts or your live or whatever, but they're going to constantly, right, oh my gosh. So now they're on social media and you asked them for help. They said they would help you. You sent them 3 cards and a $5 Dunkin' Donuts. And now they're on Facebook talking about, you're adding value and following the things I talked about yesterday. their subconscious mind is now going to be on high alert, and they're actually going to want to help you. God forbid somebody in your network says, yeah, Joe sure helped me. When you go to that party, they want to be the one that says, I helped you. I helped Pat too. That's how I am. If somebody calls and said, one of my other friends got somebody a piece of business, I want to give them a piece of business. That's how our whole network is. That's how all networks operate, guys, right? And you always want to give to your network too. I always want to help and always be on the lookout for serving their needs and helping their business grow if they own a business, right? So I think that, the main message I wanted to convey to you guys this morning is don't overcomplicate things. I started off by telling you a story about this woman who's so complicated about technology, because let the technology be the complicated part and hire us to do the technology piece, right? We don't want you to figure out how to put all the pieces together for a sales funnel. We don't want to have you to figure out retargeting or pixels or tying your Pixel ID to your website and setting up those retargeting ads and monitoring that and doing ad copy, and because let experts do that and handle the things you're good at, which is talking to people. Top people they don't figure out technology. Top agents, the best agents I know, the worst in terms of their knowledge of technology. The best at interviewing and talking to and hiring the people that are good at it, right? So find out Henry Ford, if he was alive today, would be the worst technology CEO in the history, but be the richest man in the world. Because he was a manager of people in comfort zones, right? And he surrounded himself around the talent, right? So you have to think of your business team and look at... Now, one thing I will tell you is the one thing you really do have to understand and fall in love with and really know frontwards, backwards, left, and right is your CRM. And your CRM is really, really an important thing to have like the back of your hand. Mary Beth Evers, who's a loan originator in Chapel Hill, Raleigh, North Carolina area. She lives in Chapel Hill. She moved from Providence, Rhode Island. I was coaching her back in mid-2000s, killing it there, but moved to Raleigh, didn't know a soul. Within 2 years, she was the number one loan officer in Raleigh, North Carolina, and has been top 5% for all these years. Right? Mary Beth Evers. She now works for Movement Mortgage. And, Mary Beth is just a master at people, at getting in front of people, at energy levels, at enthusiasm, right? And getting on the phone and prospecting and serving her realtors, serving her past clients. Right? And by serving her past clients, she's able to serve her realtors back, not just, service, but deals, leads. Right? So she's not a technology guru, but one thing that she really did master is her database. She is a master at understanding and making sure her database is up and relevant, and that she's communicating with her database on a regular and consistent basis. And who better to communicate with her database than her? If she hired somebody and paid them $15 an hour to manage her database, stay in front of her database, their database needs to see her. It can't just all be cards and birthday cards and everything else. That's not enough. It needs to be interaction. It needs to be value. It needs to be breaking bread. It needs to be building relationship stuff. The other things, video, email, postcards, those are supplemental. Those are subconscious conditioning things, right? Those are continual to add to reciprocity. So, and that's my main message to you guys is find out what you're good at and leverage the hell out of what you are good at, which is talking to people and selling a house and finding buyers and making sure that you find those buyers the house they want for the price they want, right? Focus on that and focus on really understanding your CRM frontwards, backwards, left, right. And don't say, I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out. I can't do this, right? Yeah, you can. Just block some time out and do it. But when do you do that? Is it during the day, during prime prospecting hours? No, it's at night. It's weekends and nights, right? In early in the morning. So, every single CRM known to mankind has, videos, but, really understand your CRM. It's that important. What we do, obviously, is is we put artificial intelligence into that CRM. That is an unbelievable thing. What is artificial intelligence? It's machine learning. Artificial intelligence is literally having an unbelievable technology constantly scanning your database for things they're doing online, sites that they're visiting, comments that they're making on social media, and then telling you, you better call this person because they're talking about selling their house or buying their house or something to do with real estate or getting a mortgage. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to figure out our artificial intelligence. We put it in there. So the problem we wanted to solve also was the disjointed technology. I use BombBomb for my video email. I use Top Producer for my CRM. I use Zillow's CRM for the Zillow leads. And I've got all this stuff, like a stack of marbles just dumped out on the floor, all scattered all over the place. Now you know why you feel overwhelmed? Because your data is not centralized. And nothing's there running and working for you to serve you up high quality leads, right? We don't know who to call or what to say, and then you look at that's what causes a mega call reluctance is a lack of. So to squash call reluctance or to minimize call reluctance, we have to have organized data. We got to know what we're going to say. And once you have those two things, you are 80% of the way there with your call reluctance. Now it's just practicing your words, and that'll only get you 90%. You're still going to be timid to get on the phone. That's what it is. That's why Lisa Taylor is not on the phone on a regular and consistent basis with their database. It's kind of like, well, I'm making the really good money and to have somebody big time me, no way, man. I'm not going to put myself in that emotional situation to preserve my self-esteem. I mean, after all, I'm making, $500,000 a year in real estate. I'm going to have somebody big time me and hang up the phone on me. That is something that we have to get over. And I'll use a guy, Rob Siemens, out of Lakeland, Florida. He's been a top 5 State Farm guy for, many, many years. But Rob's in his 70s now. Doesn't have to work, hasn't had to work for years. But every day the man prospects willingly. He gets rejected. He puts himself out there. People hang up on him. People say no. And he loves it. He formed the habit of phoning when he had nothing, zero. When he moved to Florida from Pennsylvania and literally had $0 to his name, him and his wife, Peggy, who I adore. And it's a great story, and they just pounded the phones. They just pounded, and Rob just pounded the phones. And that habit by forming that habit, he linked his success to that. And therefore, it's something that it's ingrained in him to do every single day. Has he spent money on technology? Yeah, to the tune of $100,000 on an integrated solution the same solution that we offer to the real estate industry. He purchased for $100,000 from a company called Astonished years ago. Isn't it amazing? And I won't say it's exactly the same, because times have changed since he bought that, and there was no such thing as artificial intelligence, but the similar outcome: website, CRM, fully integrated marketing system, etc. Right? So, but Rob didn't figure all that out. He hired a company that, my buddy Adam DeGrade, said, here it is. Here's how you do it. Adam's a smart marketer, right? So, he knows how to help insurance agents get leads, but is that where he started? No. So I hope I'm not rambling, but I think you guys get the message that ultimately what I'd like you to do is, until you have formed the habit of being a master of your fears of the phone, you can expect more of what you got right now. Okay? When I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, wherever you're at, whatever you're at right now, is if you are really good at talking to people 1 day a week, you're going to get 1 day a week results, right? 2 days a week, 3 days a week, what is it? And if you want to smash it, just smash it in real estate, do it every day. Do it a little bit every day. You know what? If it's not 3 hours a day with barricading and you're not just going to go ape shit on the phone for 3 hours, do it for an hour. But do it every day. Do it for a half hour, but do it every day. Whatever you decide you're going to do to pound the phones, do it every single day. Because if you can master that, you will never, ever, ever lack money. So, guys, have an awesome day. Let me know if this was helpful. William or Araski, thank you very much for coming on. Misty Moffat, Camellia, always a pleasure seeing you. Nicole, love you, man. You're on every single training. Ron Houlihan's always there, and I hope this is helping out. Jim Neal, what's up, Jim? Ryan Banderass, what's up, Ryan? Wendy Wright, what's happening, brother? What's happening, Wendy? Jeff Orzanico, sorry guys, I'm small on the screen, so I hope I'm pronouncing your names the right way. Thank you very much for coming on today. If you give a thumbs up, a heart, some kind of interaction, just so I know, I greatly appreciate that. So have an awesome day, guys. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Take care.